Welcome to this podcast on soul eyes and soul ears. I wanted to talk about these two together because they're both the senses, and I think it would make more sense to do this podcast on these senses. We have our soul ears and we have our soul eyes, and they're the organs and the mechanism that we see through. We also have a physical eyes and physical ears. These are the ones we see and hear with. We can actually use both down here. For the psychic and emotional work, we'll tend to use our soul ears and our soul eyes. For example, when I crossed and I looked into the light and it was so blinding, I was actually looking with my soul eyes. That's why it didn't hurt, because afterwards I'm like, why didn't they hurt my eyes? Because it was the brightest light, shining light I've ever seen. And then I realised, because I was looking through with my soul eyes, when my mother was on the other side of the river and she was talking to me, she wasn't moving her mouth, but she was speaking, and I was hearing with my soul ears. So we have two components of these. And it's important to understand which one you're using, because which one you're using will make a difference with your communication. With spirit, we will be using our soul eyes to see spirit, our soul ears to hear spirit. We'll also physically be using these organs, but the medium through which we're getting the information will be on that soul level. It'll be energetic. It'll be more energetic than physical. You can expand your soul eyes by using them more. You can do a meditation where you do your right and left eye and open it more, like actually literally see it like opening up. And you can palm your eyes as well. And I say palm, that just means you put one hand on one eye and one hand on the other. Sometimes when you do that, you can just feel the heat building up under your eyes. It's a good practice for your soul eyes, but it's also a really good practice for your human eyes on the physicality, because it's adding and giving energy to your eyes, especially as you're getting older. Do the same thing with your ears. So put your hands on your ears and ask that your ears are made to be bigger. I saw them like big Mickey Mouse ears, so I could hear better, because I needed to hear spirit for the work and also for my own guidance. Just see them getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and open up your ears and you will hear better. It'll be better hearing for you. So here I had my big eyes and my big Mickey Mouse ears. When your soul ears and your soul eyes are activated in this way, it's just so much easier to get information, because they're two mediums that we use with the work. We will see psychically with our soul eyes, but we also hear psychically. People who are gifted in being clairaudient, which is that they have the ability to hear what's past the hearing, the physical hearing, they make good readers and they make good clairvoyants. People who are that way with their eyes, they are, I suppose, clairvoyant to see, and they make good people to do healing and also to give messages and also to communicate like a medium, because you can see spirit in that way. It's a very wonderful practice to do. I like doing it. I've always enjoyed opening them up more and more so that I can be clearer and have my another connection which is stronger to spirit. The normal human range is quite limited, whereas when you have opened your soul eyes, your range will be greater, and that's, I think, why people can see spirit quite literally. Walking in the room, they see what we would call ghosts. That's why they see on the body as well. If you're a healer or doing work, I will actually see when I'm looking at a person's body, either absently or if they're in the room with me and I'm working on them, I'll actually see it as being red or it being dark or grey. I will see the meshed up energy. I actually see it with my soul eyes. With the healing, some people have told me they actually hear the music, that they hear the singing from the other side, and they've heard what I'd call the angels singing, which I thought was really beautiful, and they hear the music, so they actually hear in that way. They will hear spirit speak to them. I tend to get the thought, but they will actually hear the voice, like they will hear them actually saying Wendy or go left or go right. I have a friend of mine, and she was travelling, and she was driving, and she was told to be careful, be careful, be careful. She actually heard the voice telling her, be careful with her name, and she slowed down and avoided a crash. We can hear, and it can actually be on a soul level. We can also use the gift just in normal life. If you're clairaudient or clairvoyant, you don't have to tell people, but you can see and hear and then relay messages in a more human way to tell them things. Lots of people are clairaudient and clairvoyant. They just don't, when I say realise it, they don't use it as one of the first tools in their life like a person like me would be doing. But they're quite skilled and honed. I think a lot of hairdressers are, or people who are working close to your body, massage therapists, people, doctors, anyone who's working close to the physical body is often gifted in this way, even though they might not have that awareness of it. They're the ones that we will feel really comfortable with because they're reading us physically, but they're also reading us energetically. Open up your eyes more. Ask Spirit to help you open your soul eyes. Write to me and send me some comments if you notice a difference. Palming is very powerful, putting your hands there, palming your ears as well. Your gift should extend, and you should be getting better when you do it, and you might even find your eyesight improves and your hearing improves, because people who have trouble with their hearing or eyesight, they don't have enough energy in those organs. You're actually adding more energy to those organs and helping them to either get better or clear any blocks. And that's the other thing. If you have any blocks around your eyes with spirit or your ears, this is a really good way to do it. I always think the three places are the ears, the eyes, and then the crown chakra. The third eye, of course, is very important too. I probably should have said that one. But the third eye is another huge one. So if you go to those places and send healing to them, your spirituality and your energetic ability to connect with spirit will increase quite dramatically. I believe people like Edgar Cayce, he was a famous person who worked in trance and he could read and tell people what was wrong with them. I'm sure he had the most amazing big soul eyes and huge big soul ears, so you could hear the message and relay it as a really good channel. It will make you a much better channel for hearing and seeing. Enjoy opening them up. Do the work. You don't have to do it every day, but I find when I wake up in the morning, because I can just put my hands on my eyes and my ears, and when I do it at night, sometimes I just palm my eyes and my ears to make sure that I keep clearing any debris that's in there, and also get them to vibrate at a higher rate. The soul eyes and ears are working. When people have heard other people who had passed call their name or wake them up and say hello to them, they're actually hearing through their soul ears. And that's a very powerful way to understand how it works, because you wouldn't be able to hear that in the normal sense. I know a few people who have been woken or heard their wife or somebody who passed, and they hear them with their soul ears, and likewise they'll see them with their soul eyes. So now it all makes sense why you can see and why other people can't see, and just extend your gift by working on it, and I think you'll have really, really good results. I found I hear spirit more clearly, I hear their words more clearly, and I see energetically better now since I've done the work on those two senses, because they are senses, they're just another sense, and you're actually ramping up that sense so it's working in a high vibration. Sending you lots of love and light, and I hope you hear and see better this week.